Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Against the Odds. And this week, we're heading to Innistrad Midnight Hunt Standard, our new standard format, to play a classic Against the Odds trope. We are trying to win with our new Win the Game card, Triskaidekaphile, which is one of the best Win the Game cards, because all I really want you to do is play it and draw as many cards as possible to get up to 13 cards as quickly as possible. So, can we win with Triskaidekaphile in Innistrad Midnight Hunt Standard? What's the new format look like? Let's talk about the deck, jump into some games, and find out. All right, so here is our Triskaidekaphile deck for Innistrad Midnight Hunt Standard, and I'm really excited for this, because all Triskaidekaphile wants us to do is get it on the battlefield and draw as many cards as possible to get up to 13 and win the game, and that's our plan. The goal of this deck is really simple. Play Triskaidekaphile, keep it alive, keep ourselves alive, get up to 13 cards in hand, make it to our upkeep, win the game. Triskaidekaphile also helps in some other ways. We can pay for it to draw a card, which isn't likely to get us to 13 by itself. That would be a ridiculous amount of mana, but every little bit does help, and it's really nice because if we end up a card short, maybe we get to 12 cards, Triskaidekaphile can get us that last card to get to 13. Also, it gives us no max hand size, which is important because it allows us to store up cards through our end step and still make it to our next turn. We also have a couple more no max hand size cards. Wizard class, card draw, no max hand size, Seagate Restoration, one of our biggest card draw spells. If you think about it, we normally can only have 7 cards in hand, so we got to get plus 6 cards to get to 13. We need big burst card draw like Seagate Restoration to help if we're ever going to get the Triskaidekaphile win. Plus, no max hand size, as I said before, helps us store up cards slowly. Our big plan for getting to 13, our best card, Sudden Insight. Sudden Insight, 6 mana instant. It draws a card for each different mana value among non-land cards in our graveyard. We have different mana values from 1 up to 7, so Sudden Insight can be drawing us 7 cards at instant speed, and instant speed is really key because remember, Triskaidekaphile triggers on our upkeep, so what we really want to do is have some cards in hand on our opponent's end step, draw up to 13, and win the game on the spot so we can catch our opponent by surprise. Sudden Insight drawing 5, 6, 7 cards at instant speed, one of the easiest ways to get there. Ren and 7, our backup way to draw a bunch of cards. The +1 goes 4 cards deep in our deck to find lands. We put them all in our hand. Triskaidekaphile doesn't care what cards are in our hand. We can have Triskaidekaphile on the battlefield in 13 lands in hand and we still win the game. So those lands are really valuable. Plus, Ren and 7 can ramp us and makes big tokens to keep us alive. Otherwise, support cards, Quandrix Cultivator ramps us into our bigger stuff. Consider helps us find our pieces. A bunch of removal and sweepers to help us stay alive. Mana base, couple of NDFCs, mana fixing stuff. Sideboard, Coma, and a bunch of counters for control. Skyclave, Vanquish the Horde, and Sunset Revelry for aggro. And that is Triskaidekaphile for standard. That's our Against Odds deck for this week. So let's see if this can work. How easy is it to win the game with Triskaidekaphile in standard? Can we pull it off? I actually don't know. Triskaidekaphile is a card that I think is really strong in Commander. Standard, a little bit trickier. I mean, we've never played like Sudden Insight before. We're going pretty deep with cards to enable this. So let's see if it actually works. Can we get to the lucky number 13 and win the game? We're going to find out. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap up. Need some new Innistrad Midnight Hunt cards? Well, you can pre-order them now from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, by heading over to cardkingdom.com. Against the Odds time. We are trying to pull off the Triskaidekaphile win, and we'll see. We'll see. Should be interesting. Well, Seagate Restoration tapped. Go. White, black, something. Null Priest of the Oblivion. Let's pathway on white, and I think we just run out Triskaidekaphile. We're a long way from winning with Triskaidekaphile, but Elite Spellbinder. So this is just like Orzhov aggro, I guess? Well, we will see. Opponent gonna take the Saw It coming interesting. They must have something they really want to resolve next turn. Well, that's actually not the worst. Let's foretell. So we may end up, you know what, we're gonna attack with this. If our opponent wants to trade, maybe we shouldn't have run it out. I guess it's possible that we should have waited. We'll find another one though. Opponent, Schwamp. Another Null Priest goes attacking. Well, we dropped to 13. This probably means we got a Wrath next turn, unfortunately. I think we keep the land. I think Wrath into Renin 7 seems pretty good. Play the land, go to combat, attack. Renin 7 kind of key to the challenge, of course, of Triskaidekaphile is getting to 13 cards in hand. That is not easy, but Ren's ability to put a bunch of lands into our hand definitely helps. Cleric of Life. Oh, they're playing clerics. Okay. Opponent plays a land, passes. So if we play the land, they fire this up. I think we just Ren in 7. Take it up. All right, hit a land. Opponent taps. So like worst case, they fire up this cave. Righteous Valkyrie. All right, we're gonna need to find another Wrath, I guess, at some point. Opponent, Cleric of Lifespan. Hits Ren. Down to 3. Ooh, more lands, more lands, more lands. Well, all right, Tree Folk time. Play the land. We need some card draw. Our deck has a ton of card draw for Triskaidekaphile. We just haven't managed to hit it yet. Hopefully they only have 1 removal spell in hand. If they have 2, it's a problem. Fateful Absence, counter it. Oh, okay, they do have 2. Well, let's draw something. Let's draw something. Opponent hits us. Down to 8, we're running out of, oh my God, it's another land. Oh, all the lands in the world. And that's even after the, that is even after the Ren. Uh-oh. Yeah, I think we're dying, like right this second. We've just hit all the lands and none of the card draw. Yeah, the team is huge. Well, we gotta draw a Wrath this exact turn. Deck, for once, be good. Another land. Holy lander. All right, that was the biggest amount of lands we've ever seen. That was a lot of lands in a row. Well, Vanquish the Horde in. Vanquish the Horde in. Yeah, I mean, that was just full-on land mode. We're only 23 technical lands, and the rest are MDFCs, and we hit them all. We hit them all and then some. And we did not hit, like, Sudden Insights, didn't hit really any card advantage. The Triskaidekaphile died. Well, bring in Skyclaves. Bring in another Wrath. Go down. That's the question. What are we cutting? Go down a Wizard's class. Go down a couple of Saw It Comings. Maybe a Quandrix Cultivator and a Wren. Try it like that. We're unlikely to flood that hard again. We just had like literally, and that wasn't even the Wren. That was not even the Wren. That was just us. That was just us drawing every land. Wren only hit 1 land, and then we just drew like 5 more in a row off the top, which is woo, not good. Opponent, land, and passes. Well, there's a Sudden Insight this time. We'll see. We'll see if it matters. Cleric of Lifespan. Opponent. Passing. I'll play this on green. Pass the turn. Don't have the mana for Skyclave at the moment. Opponent. Elite Spellbinder. Kill the Cleric of Lifespan. Unfortunately, give our opponent a clue. So we need another white source. Step 1. Thinking very hard. Takes a Skyclave. All right, well, this can get us the white source. Grab the plains. Pass the turn. Combat hits us. Yeah, let's keep killing stuff. Give our opponent a clue. Elite Spellbinder number 2. Takes the card draw. Well, land. Skyclave. Get rid of Elite Spellbinder. This is where we're getting to the point where just drawing Triskaidekaphile is good, because if we draw Triskaidekaphile, we can start drawing cards with it. We need 1 more land. Opponent, Fateful Absence. Sure. Well, that's another mana value in the graveyard. Sacks the clue. We will sack the clue. Play the land. Pass the turn. Opponent hits us. Down to 17. Lisa. Well, I think it's Wrath time. Vanquish the Horde. Sweep the board. Up to 3 mana values, and we can cast a 1 mana value play first, which is nice. Cleric of Lifespan, Valkyrie, gain some life. Now let's consider keep the land. Skyclave Apparition. Get rid of Righteous Valkyrie. Land on blue. Pass the turn. All right, we're making progress. We're making progress. Opponent, land. Valkyrie, Harbinger. Gains a life. Goes attacking. Yeah, I guess we take it for now. Untap. Sudden Insight. Draw 4. Deserted Beach. Pass the turn. I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there. Oh my God, a Righteous Valkyrie. Okay. Thankfully, we have a Wrath, which is kind of a big deal. Opponent, gonna go attacking. Well, we're gonna block. We drop to 9. Opponent can make an Angel, that's fine. As long as they don't have a Duress. Makes another, yeah, opponent's got a huge board. However, we do have the Doomscar, which is big. Doomscar. Sweep the board. Deserted Beach. Triskaidekaphile. Go. I mean, we're kind of getting there-ish. Opponent sacks a clue. We're still at 9. We have a draw 6 that's going to cost 8, but we do have a draw 6 hanging out in our exile zone. If our opponent fires up a creature land, we can just kill it. If we untap, we can also just start drawing with Triskaidekaphile. Land for our opponent. All right, sure. Well, kill the eye. Opponent passes. Well, let's draw a few cards. Many of them lands. Deserted Beach. Foretell. Go attacking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're close. We're close-ish. We're close. Opponent. 5 cards in hand. Wow, we drew so many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We've drawn 15 of our 23 actual lands in the top of our deck. Opponent gets to reanimate something, which is a concern. But, oh my god, 16. Wow, that is a ridiculous amount of lands. I'll keep the consider. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Pass the turn. No removal, please. No death. No removal. Duress. Well, we will saw it coming. Like, this gets us to exactly 13 if we live. Elite Spellbinder. All right. Well, 12. Because of Elite Spellbinder. Oh, we were so close. I mean, we found a Wrath, so we can try again. Opponent does take the Wrath. Goes to combat attacks. We can't stop it. Down to 3. We literally have 12 cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow. 1 off. Well, Doomscar. Sweep the board. Triskaidekaphile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Still 1 short. Well, Deserted Beach. Go. I don't think we have lands left in our deck. I think we have literally drawn every single one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, opponent has 8 removal spell. Sure. Well, we will discard many lands. Oh, we were so close. Opponent. Land. Passing. Well, maybe we can reassemble. Consider. We will keep the card draw. Seagate Restoration. I guess the question now is, are we going to mill ourselves out? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so play the land. Triskaidekaphile. Pass the turn. That's 13, right? That's 13. Last card's removal. It is. Well, we will counter it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, up to 12 again. Okay. We need to find a way to get 1 more card in hand. We are running out of cards. Okay, how do we get 1? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, pass the turn. No removal. Lisa, that doesn't matter. That's 13. Oh, Triskaidekaphile. Okay. After many near misses, we got there. All right, so it is possible. to get the Triskaidekaphile win. We did it. Wow. We could have done it much easier if our opponent didn't have all that removal, but I mean, we got there in the end. Wow. There were some close calls along the way before we finally got it. All right, run it back. All right, we got a Doomscar. Doomscar does seem important against our opponent's deck. Ooh, Wizard class, eh? All right. Wizard's class is kind of nice. Backup ways to have no maximum hand size that are not Triskaidekaphile are kind of big. Pathway on white. Foretell this Doomscar to make sure that it doesn't get hit by discard. Spellbinder can take the Triskaidekaphile, which is fine. Well, I guess we just Skyclave and get rid of the Spellbinder. Start playing the removal game. Opponent. Dark Life Spawn. And passes. Well, let's draw 2. Play a farmland, pass the turn. No. We are not slamming with the Skyclave. All right, Fateful Absence, sure. About it. I mean, we got the Wrath, so we're not in danger of immediately losing here. Opponent goes attacking, hits us, sure. Down to 15. How do we want to do this? Do we want a Wrath already is the question. Yeah, it's probably worth it. Yeah, let's Wrath. Opponent's gonna save the Cleric. We will play a Forest and pass the turn. All right, opponent's down to 2 cards in hand. Hive hits us for 2. Okay. Down to 13. Well, crack the clue. Draw a card. Yeah, Skyclave's fine. That gets rid of the Cleric. Ooh, and Wrenn and 7. Wrenn and 7 is always good. We will, let's see, Skyclave Apparition. Finally put an end to this Clerical Life Spawn. Also, so far we managed to do a lot of exiling, which is going to make our opponent's reanimation stuff less impactful. Pass the turn. Field of Ruin, big deal in New Standard. Keep that in mind. Vanishing Verse. Okay. I mean, opponent's down to 1 card in hand. That's not a lot. I mean, if they fire up a creature land, we are going to Field of Ruin it. Do we care about them exiling? Well, I guess a little bit. All right, let's Field of Ruin, blow up the Hive. Opponent gonna float a mana, sure. Malakar Rebirth, okay. I mean, I guess that's kind of a combo. They get the land back and they get another land. But that also means our opponent is down to 1 card. 1 card in hand. That is not a lot. All right, so opponent gets back their eye. They hit us for 2. We untap. Saw it coming is sweet. Play this on blue. Play Triskaidekaphile. Actually, I think, let's not do it that way. Let's foretell Saw it coming. Play Triskaidekaphile. Pass the turn. What we'd like to do is get down Wrenn and 6 with counter backup. Righteous Valkyrie. I think that's okay because we can kill it. Cleric of Life's Bond. Opponent out of cards. Yeah, let's Saw it coming and stop the Cleric. Opponent's out of cards. That's a good thing. Opponent passes. Wrenn and 7. Tick it up. Get a land. Play a land on blue. Pass the turn. Okay, we might be kind of getting there. We'll see what our opponent finds. Fires up the cave. Goes to combat. Going face. Well, we will kill the cave. We will take 2. Opponent plays a land. Consider. Graveyard the land. Draw a land. Tree Folk. Level up. Level up Wizard's class. Land on white. Pass the turn. Okay, that's a 9/9. That's a 9/9. Until our opponent draws removal from the 9/9, we're kind of in business, and we got another removal spell left over, and we got card draw, and we can start growing stuff. We got a shot. We got a shot. About it. What did they find? They got 2 draws here. Thinking about firing up their Hive. Fires up the Hive. Sure. Can you kill the 9/9? That's the real question. Land, combat, everything attacks, exiles, that's fine. I mean, as long as the 9/9's alive, we're good, and we're gonna get to the Triskaidekaphile eventually. Like, we will eventually hit our big card draw. It's gotta happen, like a sudden insight or something. About it. Exiles a sudden insight, sure. All right, so opponent did top deck a removal spell. I think this is okay though. So we get to draw a card. We lose the 9/9, we draw a card. We put a counter on Triskaidekaphile. We block the Hive. Oh, we block the 2/2. We Fateful Absence. We consider. Graveyard the land. Ooh, Saw it coming's not the worst. We drop to 7. Wrenn and 7. Tree Folk. Wrenn and 7. Tree Folk. And maybe we're the aggro now. Hit ya. Triskaidekaphile aggro. Opponent taps. We got 2 9/9s to stop this Righteous Valkyrie, and Lisa counter it. Sure, crack the clue. Crack the clue. You're dead. You're dead. Well, we're trying to win with 13 cards in hand, but we will take the Triskaidekaphile beatdown win, and it can work. It can work. It can work. All right. All right. That was good. That was super good. Sweet. That's how you Triskaidekaphile. Against the odds time, we are Triskaidekaphiling in new standard, and well, I got the Triskaidekaphile. Other than Triskaidekaphile, this sounds kind of okay, but a little land heavy. Now we'll just start with the tap land. Opponent, Snow-covered island, wizard class, interesting. Perhaps our opponent is also trying to Triskaidekaphile. No, Triskaidekaphile, go. Schwamp. We will play a farmland, go to combat, attack, pass the turn. I mean, if Triskaidekaphile sticks around, it's going to be interesting because we can start drawing with it, which is nice. Pathway for our opponent and level up time. Not going to level up, okay. Well, pathway on, actually, let's just pathway on white. Yeah, let's foretell, saw it coming. Go attacking, hit ya. Not sure why our opponent did nothing that turn. Faceless Haven passes. We still want to protect this Triskaidekaphile. Another saw it coming. Field of Ruin. Go. Actually, we might as well attack. 18 more turns of this and we got him. We got the Triskaidekaphile win. Flunk. All right. I guess we got to let it go for now. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent. Foretells. Now, let's consider. Mill the Doomscar. Blow up the Faceless Haven. Grab a island. Ooh, that's a good one. Pathway on green. Saw it coming. Go. All right, so our next goal, I think, is to resolve this sudden insight to draw a ton of cards. Opponent's gonna level up the wizard class, draw a couple cards. Sure. Tap land. 1, 2, ooh, all right. Pathway on blue. Ren in 7, that is also a good one. Opponent counters, we counter back. Take up red in 7. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent. Do they have a Planeswalker removal spell? Professor Onyx. This is kind of okay because we can kill it. Oh, yeah, this is going to be good because we can kill it and then we can also sudden insight to refill our hand. Opponent mills some cards. Let's, oh, how do we want to do this? Take up Ren in 7. With Fateful Absence, Professor Onyx. Play the land. Actually, maybe we're actually on the Protect Ren in 7 plan. Ismareth. Counter it. Well, we will counter the Saw It Coming. Oh, this kind of works, because now we get to untrap and draw a new hand. Sudden Insight's looking good here. Yeah, Sudden Insight. 0 Ren in 7. Put a bunch of lands into play. Play a land on blue. Pass the turn. All right, we got mana for days. Opponent, gonna draw some cards with Gravenlore. Trying to find an answer to our Ren in 7. Oh, we have so much mana. All right. We need to resolve another Sudden Insight. 2 to the top, 3 to the bottom. Opponent draws some cards. Plays a land. Delver. Well, we get to resolve the Sudden Insight, which is sweet. So, Sudden Insight. Draw a new hand. Take up. We're gonna mill ourselves out, aren't we? Take up red at 7. Get a land, mill some cards. Fateful Absence, Delver. Opponent sacks the clue. Land, Triskaidekaphile. Okay, well, let's see if they can answer these Rens. Opponent untaps. Ren Ultimate is kind of absurd. Even in our deck that has a lot of spells, but we still get back a lot. Opponent. The only downside is we only have 17 cards left in our deck. We've drawn so many cards. Xanathar. Sure. I mean, we got answers for that. Opponent plays a tap land. Foretells. All right. Wizard class. Well, draw a card. Cultivator. Untap. Doomscar. Sweep the board. Ren in 7. Ultimate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'll play Ren in 7. Mega Tree Folk. Play Wizard class. Play a land on green. Quandrix Cultivator. Get a land. Pass the turn. That's a 16/16. Show us what removal you got. Poison the cup. Kills the biggin. Scries to the top. Oh, can we do it without milling out is the question. We're so close. Graven Lore to draw a bunch of cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, the question is milling out. About it. Passing. Well, we will. Tick up Renin 7. Ooh, a little scary, a little scary. We get a land, we mill some cards. We go to combat, we attack you. Opponent takes it. Field of Ruin, Triskaidekaphile. Pass the turn. Opponent's execute or draw a card. All right. Oh, can we fight through the removal? About it. Imareth. I think that's fine. Actually, how many Saw It Comings do we have left? 0. All right, sure. Can't stop it anyway. Triskaidekaphile. Draw a card. Triskaidekaphile, draw a card. Triskaidekaphile, draw a card. All right, that's 13. Do they have the removal spell? Oh, got him! Triskaidekaphile! I can't believe it's working. I can't believe it's working. All right, that was against the control deck. Negates in, dissipates in, comas in, go down the Doom Scars, at least for the most part. Go down, maybe go down all the Doom Scars. Go down all the Doom Scars. Wow, I can't believe that worked. I really cannot believe that worked. So we want all the counters. We probably need Fateful Absence to get rid of Planeswalkers. What else can we cut is the question. Maybe we go on a Quandrix Cultivator and one Wizard's Class. Let's try it like that. Well, that went surprisingly well. Maybe Triskaidekaphile is actually good. Maybe it's actually good. Wow, that was close too, because if our opponent could have killed the Triskaidekaphile, we might have ended up milling out there, honestly. We were close. We were in a risky situation with the amount of cards in our deck. All right. Well, I mean, I guess we can keep this. The negates are good. We can run out the Triskaidekaphile. Hopefully we hit our land drops, but yeah, we can keep this. Opponent, Snow-Covered Island, Delver of Secrets. Delver does not flip. I mean, Delver could be an issue. Now, land on blue and Triskaidekaphile. Opponent. All right, gets the flip with a Baleful Mastery. Yeah, that is a concern. That is a 3/2 that we don't currently have an answer for. I mean, maybe we gotta keep a Wrath in to deal with Delvers. Opponent hits us. Well, play the land. Go to combat attack. Oh, not looking good. Not looking good. Opponent adapts. We don't have a way to kill it. We don't have a way to kill it. Play the land. Wow, we're gonna get janked out by Delver, aren't we? Opponent passes. Well, we hit a land. Go to combat. Attack you. What we need to do is resolve a Renin 6 somehow and start making big tree folk. I don't know how we're gonna do that before we die to Delver, but that is the long-term game plan. Opponent gonna hit us. Sure. Down to 10. Well, Delver is good when it flips quick and doesn't die, and that's the scenario we're in at the moment. Draw a card. All right. Baleful Mastery. Now, play the land on blue. Quandrix Cultivator. Opponent's gonna counter. All right, can they protect the Delver long enough? Maybe. Opponent taps. Faceless Haven. Combat. Yeah, we're kind of in trouble now. Hits us down to 7. Yeah, the Delver flip back by the counters might get our opponent get the job done for our opponent this game. Consider, because we're just not gonna be able to resolve a Renin 6. Oh, okay, maybe we do. But even if we do resolve the Renin 6, I can't imagine it's gonna save us. Opponent Graven Lore to draw a bunch of cards. Wow, this is maybe the best I've seen Delver be in Standard. Yeah, we don't need Cultivator anymore. Draw land. Well, Renin 7. I assume we're literally dead here. Tree Folk. Like, if our opponent can kill the Tree Folk and attack with Faceless Haven and the Delver, then we're just literally dead. Imareth. All right, that's a problem for the future. Another Delver. Sudden Insight. Well, tick up Renin 7. Land. Renin 7. Keep the new one. Tree Folk. Save us, Tree Folk. Opponent, do they get the Delver flip? No, but they reveal Sphere of Annihilation. That is an issue, especially if this negate doesn't stop it. I mean, we gotta try, or it beats us with suspend 1. All right, are we dead? Creature land. Xanathar. Well, take up Renin 7. Whiff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need to be able to kill something because we're dead on board, right? I think we're dead on board. Block, block. 1, 2, 3, 4 creature lands. I'll play the land. Sudden Insight. Fateful Absence Xanathar. Pass the turn, discard, land, Triskaidekaphile, Amiria's Call. We're still at a point where if they hit removal, we're just gonna be dead. Opponent saw it coming. Okay, that's not removal. Well, that's not removal. We're not dead yet. They can put us to 1, but they'd lose their Imareth. Wow, this is ridiculously close. Renin 7 is keeping us in this game. These big tokens are just barely keeping us alive at the moment. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Ooh. I guess if they can Faceless Haven and Hive of the Eye Tyrant, that would get us, wouldn't it? If we can live one more turn, we might be able to stabilize here because we have the Field of Ruin to answer a creature land. We can make another big Tree Folk, and then we have a handful of counters. Opponent levels up. Okay. Passes. Well, we will Renin 7, make a big Tree Folk. Play the land to grow the Tree Folk. 3, 4, 5. So we play Renin 7, they counter, we negate. All right, play Renin 7. We negate back. Make a Tree Folk. Hit our opponent for 9. All right, it's coming down to this. It's coming down to this turn. This is the turn that's going to determine this game. Opponent gets to put a counter on something. Goes with Imareth. This is it. This is a game. Gravenlore. I think this is okay. They draw a bunch of cards, they put a bunch of counters on things, but I don't think this beats us. And our opponent's getting to the position where they're the ones behind the clock because of Renin 7. Like Renin 7 and these tokens are basically dominating this game. Opponent gonna put a bunch of counters, 3 counters on something. Insectile Aberration. They're gonna spread the love? Yeah, okay, sure. What else you got? What else you got? Land. We do have a removal spell. Worth pointing out. Foretells. Okay. Opponent. Opponent's dead, right? Aren't they just dead? I think they're just dead. Well, take up Renin 7. I don't see how they beat these tokens, especially with us having a handful of counter spells. Go to combat. 4 lethal attackers. Poison the cup. We will saw it coming. An opponent. Done! Well, we got the Triskaidekaphile win in game 1. Game 2, that was a testament to the power of Ren. Like, all we really did that game was Ren and make big tokens with Ren, and that was enough. That was enough to pick up the win. A little bit scared because our opponent got off to the fast Delver flip, but we still managed to stabilize with Ren, and maybe Ren is kind of insane. Well, sweet. Against the odds time, we are Triskaidekaphiling in Standard, New Standard, Innistrad Midnight Hunt Standard, no Bone Crusher, no Love Struck Beast, no Emergent Ultimatum, no Companion Standard, and trying to win the game by drawing cards, essentially. Trying to get the Triskaidekaphile win, which, I do like drawing cards. Oh boy. All right, so, yeah, let's mill the counter for now. I think we need to find a Wrath, number 1. Yeah, let's Amiria's Call tapped. Well, we'll see. Gonna need to find a Wrath, and then I don't know how we deal with Ranger class. Maybe we don't. Opponent gonna level up, gonna hit us. Yeah, the card advantage this can generate is a concern. Opponent passes, we draw even more lands. Well, pathway on blue. Go. Opponent. Land and attacks and... Oh my god, can we just not beat a Ranger class? Do we just die to Ranger class? Is that where we're at in our lives? Werewolf Pack Leader. Opponent passes. Sudden Insight. A little bit on the expensive side. Pass the turn. This is not looking good. We haven't even played a spell. Well, we played a Consider, but we haven't really even played a spell. Toski, oh my god. Oh my god. Well, we'll wait one turn because we could draw Doomscar, but We are incredibly dead here. Okay, well, where's the set? We need to settle the wreckage in standard. How do you answer a Toski? Opponent, yeah, draws a new hand. Oh boy. Well, well, well. That's why you don't lose a die roll against Monogram. Oh my god, we did draw the Doomscar. We did draw the Doomscar, but it doesn't matter. They still have a Toski and they still have a Ranger class, and they just drew 3 cards. So, wow, we hit our best possible draw, and it's not even going to be close to good enough. Opponent gets in with Toski. Draws a card. Yeah. I mean, we have the Skyclave apparitions in our sideboard, which should be helpful here. So we are going to have a lot of removal eventually, but for the time being, I think we're just dead. Dead, I say. More lands, not even going to bother to do anything. We're dead on board. Well, at least we lost quick. So, Vanquish the Horde, Skyclave, Apparition, maybe Sunset Revelry. 4 life, 2 tokens. This might not be aggressive enough for it. All right, so what are we cutting for this? I think we can Trim Saw at Cummings. Trim Saw at Cummings, trim a Wizard class, maybe 1 Sudden Insight. Let's try it like that. All right, well, we get a bunch more removal spells, which is good. And we get 1 more Wrath. And the removal spell is Skyclave Apparition, which is actually a way to kill Toski, gets rid of Ranger class. So we'll see. We also get to be on the play, which is nice. And Triskaidekaphile actually is like reasonable. Just running out Triskaidekaphile, one of the upsides of our namesake card is our opponent. What's our opponent's name? Panharmoniconnel? Maybe that's why we're losing. Our opponent's the Panharmoniconnel. That's fitting. Hoisted by our own petard, so to speak. But one of the upsides of Triskaidekaphile is it has a 2-mana 1/3, which is a reasonable blocker. Like, that blocks a decent amount of our opponent's early game stuff. So, and they don't have that much removal typically, and they probably even have less now that they've seen the cards in our deck. I am assuming they take out a lot. Oh my god. 6 lands, Skyclave Apparition. I'm almost tempted to keep this, but I don't think we. Okay. Well, this is gonna be interesting. Sudden Insight to the bottom. We are trusting these considers to hit land drops, basically. This hand has a lot of what we want if we hit our lands. Yeah, that Triskaidekaphile graveyard. All right, that is a land. Well, Pathway on green. Maybe need to be more specific. Not only do we need to hit lands, we need to specifically hit white lands. We need double white to cast any of these removal spells. Opponent mills. APAC leader. Play as a Ranger class. Hits us. I'll play Field of Ruin. Blow up the Lair of the Hydra. Get a Plains. Opponent. Yeah, hits us to 15. Ooh, that's not great. Consider looking for white mana. Yeah, we gotta mill it. We need lands. We need white lands. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, there is a downside to being a 3-color deck in this standard format, and 3-color decks do have pretty bad mana. And we're kind of seeing that happen here because pathways are not dual lands. Kind of tough to play your stuff on time. We need to run on tap. Oh my god, it's a blue source. Well, all right, Quandrix Cultivator. That's a blocker at least, and a land, but we still can't cast a Wrath. We still can't cast the Wrath. We still can't cast Skyclave Apparition. We're dying. Ugh. Well, I guess I'm glad this happened. I mean, I'm not glad that we're losing, but it is a good time for a PSA that mana's still not very good. It improved from standard 2022, but 3-color mana in Innistrad Midnight Hunt standard is not very good. It's just not very good. So that's something to keep in mind. That you're going to deal with some inconsistency playing 3 colors. And I think one thing I learned playing Werewolves, which we played a couple of days ago for Mucha Brew, and you should check out the video. I'll pop up a card if I remember, blah, blah, blah. But the deck suite, I tried multiple versions of it. I tried Teamer to play Suspicious Stowaway. I tried Jund for some of the Black Werewolves. And even after all of that, pretty much determined that the best version is Gruul, even though you miss some of the powerful werewolves, mostly because the mana is consistent. Well, the Wrath helps. That came just in time to make us not literally dead. Oh, I really want a Sudden Insight, but we're still so close to dying. Do we just have to Wrath again? That feels bad. This has Trample. Yeah, I mean, I guess play this on blue. We could just eat the Primal Adversary and go to 1 and try to Wrath next turn, but then we give the token back. Yeah, I mean, vanquish the Horde. We got to find a window. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got to find a window for the sudden insight. Briarbridge Tracker. Swarm Shambler. Oh, Skyclave Apparition. Get rid of the tracker. Consider. Yeah, we'll take the land. Play the land. Pass the turn. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Not feeling super comfortable. Ranger class going off. No blocks. Down to 3. Old growth troll. That's a problem. Well, sudden insight. Please hit some removal. All right, land and Skyclave Apparition. Staying alive, barely, no attacks. Now we gotta start chumping though, which is not good because we're gonna be giving our opponent back big tokens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, these Ranger classes are kind of insane. They're kind of wrecking us. Well, we gotta chump. Stay at 3, opponent gets a 3/3. And Ranger class. All right, we gotta draw a Wrath maybe? Oh, Conduct's Cultivator. Get a land. Rat in 7. Make a Tree Folk. We're still dead to any removal spell though, because we can't take a hit from any of these creatures. So we're dead to many things here. Wow, so close to stabilizing. We got to draw a 7 in hand, but if they just have a fight spell, the question is, would they leave in a fight spell? All right, Pack Leader. All right, opponent, setting up for next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's tick up Ren in 7. Get 3 lands. Play the farmland. I mean, we still got a bunch of removal in the deck, right? Yeah, let's draw 7. Play Triskaidekaphile. Play Triskaidekaphile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Pass the turn. I mean, we put enough bodies on the board that we don't just lose right this second. We can block our way through to stay alive. And now we're in a position where we can draw 7 again to find a Wrath, hopefully, and then tick down Ren in 6 to have a blocker. Well, we might be getting close to okay here. Opponent, big attack. Sure. Sure. Draws a card, gets a bunch of counters. Only 1 creature has trample, though. So, we will block the potential trampler, block the wolf, block here, block here, block here. And we still have removal up if there's shenanigans. Okay, stuff dies, but not us. Tovlar's Huntmaster. All right, well, we gotta hit the Wrath. That is basically the game. Well, okay. Sudden Insight. Draws 7. We have gotta hit a Wrath out of this. All right, there's a Doomscar. Doomscar. Blow up the board. Ren in 7. Make a Tree Folk. Pathway on blue. Pass the turn, discard 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, discard 7. We might be good though. We might have somehow stabilized about it. Lad, 2 cards in hand. We got 7, Primal Adversary. So they make wolves, but they don't beat us. Wolf and wolf, sure. Oh, 1 wolf, okay. Opponent, passing. Well, we will untap. Ren in 7. Tree Folk. Skyclave. Get rid of the Primal Adversary. Hit you for 13. Land on blue. I guess we get a hit for 14, but this is fine. We have 2 removal spells. I think we're good. Wow, I can't believe we stabilized. Ren in 6 is insane. I keep calling it Ren in 6, don't I? Ren in 7 is insane. Ren in 7 is a really strong Magic the Gathering card. Wow, I could almost see bringing in Coma. Coma makes us... that Coma does seem good, doesn't it? All right, let's go up a Coma. Go down a Condrix Cultivator. One Coma. Just a big indestructible thing that we could potentially ramp into seems good. Well, I cannot believe we stabilized that game. I thought we were dead for sure, but the Ras came through in a nick of time. All right, on the draw, mono green versus Triskaidekaphile. All right, well, we'll keep this. We got a Wrath. That is what we want to see. This hand actually seems kind of decent. We're going to need double white. I guess we can wait on green. Let's just play this on blue. Opponent, snow-covered forest. All right, not off to the fastest start. Consider. Yeah, mill Triskaidekaphile for now. We already got one. Another Wrath. I'll play this on white. Foretell the Doomscar. Go. Opponent, old growth troll. Well, we got the answer to that in Skyclave. Snipe the old growth troll. We would like to keep hitting our lands. Getting to this Ren in 7 would be really helpful. Opponent, Toski. Well, thankfully we can block it. Land on green. Foretell. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent. So we want to keep our opponent from generating card advantage, basically. Well, we also want to keep our opponent from doubling the power of all their stuff. Another Skyclave to deal with Toski would be spectacular. Well, that's another Skyclave to deal with Toski, which is spectacular. Well, go attacking. Hit you. And now if our stuff dies, it's fine. Like, our opponent's going to get tokens, but we can follow that up by wrathing. All right, there's a Huntmaster. We do draw the land, which is nice. Although we don't have double green. Well, I think we just foretell. Pass the turn. This does let the Grave Titan flip, but that's okay. What we need to do is just double block to get rid of the Skyclaves, to give our opponent the tokens. Or our opponent can fight them, that's also legal. But basically, what we're trying to set up here is this Wrath without having Skyclaves on the battlefield. So we go to 18. I don't think there's mass indestructibility in Standard currently. Let's vanquish the Horde. Triskaidekaphile. Go. All right. Huntmaster 1 dealt with. Opponent. Sprout. Oh, there's a forest. Forest. Ren in 7. Tree Folk. Triskaidekaphile attack. And we're stabilizing at 18. Oh, we're stabilizing at a high life total this time, which is good news. Opponent mills a Blizzard Brawl. Not blizzardy enough to take down the Tree Folk. Opponent plays a land, and I think we're getting there. I don't know if we're going to get there with Triskaidekaphile, but with 2 Wraths foretold, I don't know how we're going to lose from here. Take up Ren in 6. Hopefully get some lands. Now we're on the get to Triskaidekaphile plan if possible. Yeah, draw a card. Play a land. No attacks this turn. We're going to play it super conservative. I mean, we got the Triskaidekaphile. Opponent, pass it, draw a card. Up to 4. Now we need mass card draw. Another Wrath. Well, that is mass card draw. Seagate Restoration. Speed things up a bit. I mean, now our opponent's to the point where they got to deal with this Triskaidekaphile or it's going to win in like 2 turns. Take up Ren in 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, so in that case, play a land. No attacks. I mean, we're gonna get the Triskaidekaphile win. I think we got it. Opponent, Kazandu Mammoth, sure. And passes. All right, now we just got to get to 13 cards. Another Triskaidekaphile. That's good. That's good. So we will take down Ren in 7 for a token. Sudden Insight. Draw 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Triskaidekaphile. Land. And pass the turn. And that's 2 Triskaidekaphiles. That's 13 cards in hand. We're just gonna pass. You gotta kill them both. Can you kill them both, Mono Green? Or are you getting Trist? Wow, maybe this deck's actually good. Opponent, mills. Grows their Death Body Hulk. Land. Sure, grows a Mammoth. That's fine. Do your worst. They need 2 fight spells. Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 13 cards in hand. All right, there's 1. I mean, if they kill them both, then I guess as punishment, we're going to have to kill them with these 10-10s. Do we get them? Only 1 fight spell? Opponent goes attacking. Sure. I mean, we'll block with a 10-10. And that's 13. That's 13. That's lucky number 13. Okay. Wow. All right. So could we have won more quickly by attacking there? Maybe. I mean, I guess with how it played out, yes. Although we're in such a dominating position, I think there's actually strategic value to just staying back with the 10-10s and trusting that we're going to win with Triskaidekaphile. There's no risk that way, that something crazy happens. We saw the adversary that can make hasty things. Who knows if we get aggressive, maybe they adversary, make a bunch of 3/3s, and all of a sudden we're like, oh no, or play the adversary in a power doubling thing. So there is things that can go wrong if we get too aggressive, because we don't have counters anymore. We had, I mean, I guess, did we counter one thing? We had one saw it coming, but we don't really have counters, so I feel like playing conservatively makes sense, especially with Triskaidekaphile giving us a hard-to-beat win con, and, well, all right, Trisk. Against the odds time, we are playing some Triskaidekaphile in New Standard, and, sounds fine. Fine-ish. We are going to need another blue or green source to get to Cultivator, to get to Ren and 7, but yeah, let's just foretell Doomscar. We could run out Triskaidekaphile. Probably Is It Dragons. I don't know how Is It Dragons goes. Probably gonna come down to resolving Ren and 7, honestly. I'll play the land, Triskaidekaphile. Go. Ren and 7 making big reaching tokens is probably our best defense. Oh, it's a Delver deck. Interesting. Oh, blue or green source would be so nice here. Passing. Well, play the land. Yeah, I think we just got to pass and draw with Triskaidekaphile. Yeah, let's get in for 1. If Delver flips, we can't block it anyway. If it doesn't flip, then we're only taking 1. Opponent. What do they have foretold? Why do they keep trying to guess this for? Oh, is it? All right, there's a Frostbite. Well, we're going to draw a card. Oh, come on. No flipping. No flipping. None of this. Oh, boy. Blind flip. That's not optimal. Opponent plays on, and we know there's an Alrund's Epiphany coming. Opponent hits us with the Delver. Down to 17. Does not foretell. Let's consider trying to find a land. Mill it. Oh my god. All right. This isn't great. This isn't great. You know what? Let's foretell this saw it coming. Pass the turn. Behold the multiverse. We need the saw it coming to stop the Alrund's Epiphany. If our opponent... Ugh. So the worst here is our opponent untaps Goldspan Dragons, gets a treasure, counters our Wrath, and then Alrund's Epiphanies. That beats us pretty hard. More Delvers. Opponent hits us. Can we draw land? No. Never. Never, never, never. So, well, we have to consider. We're just missing lands in an absolute sense here. This isn't even... All right. Mill. Doomscar. Oh, my god. Oh, no. Well, I guess we were due for a bit of a variance hit. Yeah, I mean, I think we're just super dead here. Wow, even those considers have failed us. I guess we just didn't have many lands on the top of our deck this game. Opponent, Memory Deluge, Delver. Is it flipping in the blind again? No. I mean, I think we're in trouble. I think we are in a lot of trouble. Oh, the Storm Giant. You know, we're eventually gonna draw like 7 lands in a row, but it's gonna be too late, I think. Goes to combat. It says, sure. Down to 13. Still not a land. Well, we will pass the wow. Okay. Well, sometimes you draw land, sometimes you don't. Delver. No flip. All right, that's the Delver we know and love. You can see the awkward... I mean, I guess this is just a doubly awkward draw. We haven't even drawn a pathway. We've drawn 0 dual lands. We have all monocolored mana sources, so not making it easy to cast this Quandrix Cultivator. Opponent. Foretells. Alrund's Epiphany. Sacks the clue. Hits us for 1. We draw. Quandrix Cult. Boy. We're making this look real hard. Opponent does not flip the Delver. Land. Foretells. Yeah, they're setting up for the kill here. I will say, Alrund's Epiphany might be my new least favorite card in... I'm really tempted to just concede. We're discarding 4 lands and 20 cards, even with all those considers. Well, I mean, I guess we foretell. So we don't have to... I mean, we're super dead. We're super dead. So I think what our opponent set up here is Alrund's Epiphany with Saw It coming back up. Well, and a Smoldering Egg. But I assume that's what our opponent's setting up. Opponent goes to combat, hits us. And we're just at the point where even if we draw lands, it just doesn't matter because oh, it's a land. I mean, we're just at the point where it doesn't matter because we're so far behind now. Like, Yeah, I think we're just going to concede and not show our opponent our cards. They didn't see much. I guess they saw some random control stuff, but yeah, that was a bit of a frustrating game in the sense that we just could not hit the lands we needed to save our lives. So how do we fight this deck? Go down a Wizards class, go down a Cultivator, which is apparently impossible to cast. Go up the Comas, go up a Dissipate. Skyclave does get the Delver. Maybe go down a Sudden Insight for a Skyclave. Yeah, let's try it like that. I mean, technically, I think we're a 27 land deck, 26 land deck. So just not hitting lands is unfortunate, especially with Considers and Cultivators, but we get to play first. Well, we have some lands. How good this will be still remains to be seen, but there are lands this time, although awkwardly, we still don't actually have white mana. So even with 5 lands, that's how the standard is, though. Even with 5 lands, you can still easily be mana screwed. In a 3+ color deck. Opponent, do they get the lucky flip? No. Well, that's good at least. Opponent, Fjord, and Fading Hope. Sure. Trying to set up a Delver flip. Well, we will Field of Ruin. Blood the Fjord. Make our opponent shuffle, get a white source. This also gets rid of their scry to the top, which they were trying to set up with Delver. It still could flip, but it means it's not guaranteed to flip anymore. Delver. No flip. Opponent. Snow-covered mountain. Hits us. Well, play the land. Quandrix Cultivator. Finding a Coma would be sweet. Wow, wow, wow. Don't usually see a lot of learning outside of Best of One, but Expanded Anatomy. Interesting. All right, Delver flips with another Divide by 0. Well, we'll see if we ever get to resolve it thing. Opponent hits us. Down to 15. Tap land. Passes. Let's foretell Doomscar. Land on. Actually, let's play the island. Pass the turn. Opponent adapts. Faceless Haven. Foretells. Goes to combat. Well, go after the insect. At least this taps our opponent down. They can't cast the Saw It Coming because they just foretold it. They can divide by 0, but then they're tapped out, and we actually get to resolve things. All right, opponent's gonna divide by 0. Sticking with the tempo plan. Gets a Mascot Exhibition. Well, in that case, we will 1, 2, 3, 4. Cultivator. Get a land. Yeah, let's just Fateful Absence. Get rid of the insect. Pathway on blue. Pass the turn. Well, we'll see. See if I think this is a Saw It Coming, although it could be Alrund's Epiphany. Cultivator is big enough to block the Faceless Haven, which is good. And if our opponent ever does Mascot Exhibition, we can Doomscar. At least if it is Alrund's Epiphany, it's not a great Alrund's Epiphany. All right, Goldspan Dragon is always great. Gets in, makes a treasure. Yeah, this is a bit awkward. Down to 8. Well, play the land. Go to combat, hit ya. Yeah, not the biggest fan of where we're at now. Doomscar. Triskaidekaphile. Pass the turn. Opponent. Mascot Exhibition. Well, gonna counter that. All right, big draw, land. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Triskaidekaphile, draw a card. Play the land. Well, after not being able to find lands to save our life last game, we have found many of them this game. Perhaps too many of them. We really need to find a Coma, a Ren, and resolve it. I don't know about this lesson. Opponent, that was the first lesson they tutored up, and I don't know when they're ever going to cast it. We are in a fragile situation. So this is like weird dragons, perhaps bad dragons. No offense, but I'm not sure the lesson plan is worth it for the dragons. Opponent, you got another dragon? Fading Hope. Well, we will draw a card. Might as well. Opponent gets to scry. Well, that is card draw for the future, perhaps. But we're at risk of just dying to this. So we go to 4 from Faceless Haven, and that means we're dead to a Goldspan for the rest of the game. Yeah, here it comes. Hits us. Well, let's see what we can draw. Amiria's Call. Well, in that case, Triskaidekaphile. Amiria's Call. Land on blue. All right. Well, that gives us blockers at least. Opponent. All the Storm Giants. A Foretold card, a Bad Lesson, 2 unknowns. A full price Behold the Multiverse. Draw some cards. Malevolent Hermit. Now, let's Skyclave Apparition. Get rid of the Hermit. Ren in 7. Make a Tree Folk. Get in with a Angel. Opponent goes to 13. Are we stabilizing? Are we stabilizing? Maybe? At 4? Opponent's the one that kind of needs a Wrath now. Opponent, land. 1 Foretold. 2 real cards in hand, plus Expanded Anatomy. What do you got about it? What do you got? All right, they do have Elrond's Epiphany. My favorite standard card. I mean, it's probably correct to play Elrond's Epiphany in this deck because it's busted, but we're not like that. Okay, yeah. Gotta get that anatomy value. Land, 2 cards in hand. What do they got? Ismareth, okay. And what's the last one? Cracks the Clue. Oh, we'd love to resolve this sudden insight. That would be big. All right, last card. Oh, okay. Well, take up red. Get some lands, many lands. Insight. Oh, their last card's a counter. It's a negate. Oh, that's awkward. I don't think that means we're literally dead if it's a counter, but it's not good. I guess it could be a removal spell too, like instant speed removal, like the bounce spell. We would like to draw 6 Magic the Gathering cards. It is a counter, so that's not great. Play the land, pass the turn. Well, opponent is officially out of cards. Oh no! The lucky blind flip of the Delver with the expressive iteration, and that might let our opponent steal the game. Oh, the Delver luck. Our opponent's playing a lot of creatures too. We see Imares, we see Hermits. That's a lot of creatures, and that's devastating. That is devastating. That's let our opponent dig 3 cards deep to find stuff to win the game at the moment. And yeah, I think that is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Yeah, I expect we die now. Oh, even flipping would be okay if they flip with a random counter or something, but flipping with a draw 3, well, a draw 2 that lets you go 3 cards deep is real bad. Because if they can kill a single, like if they can get rid of our Tree Folk, chump, die. So blind Delver flip. All right, opponent. Goldspan Dragon, the hits keep coming, and that lets our opponent win, right? Block, dead. Yeah? Wow. What a devastating way to lose. Oh, Magic Gods. Wow. Well, what do we learn in that match? If you're going to play Delver in a deck full of creatures, if you get lucky enough, it can still be good. Wow, that was brutal. Against the odds time, we are Triskaidekaphiling in new standard, and we got a Triskaidekaphile. The rest of the hand's gonna need some mana, I would say. Well, tap land, go. Opponent. Snow covered plains and shambling ghast. All right, so some sort of sack deck, clearly. Not a land. Well, we will Triskaidekaphile. Go. So we need lands and we need sweepers eventually. We have all these Saw It Comings, which not sure how good they're going to be. They're going to get better if we can hit a sweeper. Opponent going to get in. I mean, yes, we will kill the Shambling Ghast. Opponent gets a treasure, but land, please. Yes. All right, so untap land. Go. That does hit us down to 15, but it lets us leave up these infinite Saw It Comings, which is relevant. And we're only technically taking 1 from this eye twitch, which is good. Professor of Symbology. Well, I think we're going to counter that. At this point, I think we just counter essentially whatever to get these out of our hand. And then next step is some sort of Wrath. Opponent hits us for 1. Sacks the treasure. All right, we hit a land, which is nice. So land on white. You know what? Maybe we don't even foretell. Let's just pass. This lets us leave up a counter plus consider, or if we don't have to do anything, we can always just draw with Triskaidekaphile, which is nice. Land for our opponent. Combat. I mean, the good news is our opponent's clock is slow. We're only taking 1, even though we're not doing a ton. Hits us 13. Lolf. Well, yes, that is on our must counter list. Counter that. Consider. Kind of look like a blue-white control deck at the moment. Another eye twitch. Sure. So our opponent's going to be able to get lessons. Yeah, mill the wizard class. Another sudden insight. Well, there's a land. Put the land on blue. Well, I think we passed the turn again. One more land and we can start drawing with Sunned Insights. It's awkward that we have not hit any green mana yet. Opponent hits us for 2. And I mean, the clock is kind of on. It has been doubled by the second eye twitch. Well, draw with Triskaidekaphile. All right, opponent answers it. We draw. We could use a Wrath. Could use 2 Wraths. Well, there's a land. So at least that lets us Sudden Insight. Plains. Pass the turn. Only a Sudden Insight for 2 at the moment, though. Opponent combat hits us. We're going to take it. Ooh, down to 8. Are we sacking and drawing? All right, the clock is going away. Opponent sacks, gets a 2-drop lesson. This is going to be close. I wonder if they go Mascot Exhibition. We look like blue-white control now, and I guess we are adjacent to that, but all right, Environmental Sciences, that's fine. Draws a card. Environmental Sciences. Gets a land. Wow, okay. Well, Sudden Insight, draw a couple cards. Well, this is okay-ish. This means we get to Seagate Restoration. There's a Mascot Exhibition. Oh, there's a Doomscar. Well, Seagate Restoration. Wow, still no green mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You can see the trouble with 3-color mana bases. Like, we got a million cards in hand, and no green. Okay, that helps. So, green mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doomscar. Pass the turn. So we can still, we get hit by this Faceless Haven. That is our next problem to try to deal with. Land for our opponent. Faceless Haven. Gonna hit us to 3. We'll take it. Well, consider. Field of Ruin would be good. Yeah, we'll mill that. Consider. We will keep Field of Ruin. That makes me feel better. Ooh, and a Fateful Absence. All right, Field of Ruin. Go. Okay, so we got the Faceless Haven covered, and we have a million cards in hand. Opponent, land, Lolth. Well, we will see that one coming. Faceless Haven. Well, we will Field of Ruin it. Get a forest, I think. Okay, now I kind of like where we're at. Now we're at the win with Triskaidekaphile stage of the game. Quandrix Cultivator. Get our last forest. Land. Go. How many cards are at 27? All right, so we can keep drawing with Sudden Insights. Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Opponent passing. Well, Sudden Insight, draw 5. Sudden Insight's actually been really good in this deck. Well, we have lots of targeted removal. 21 cards in our deck. We'll play the Farmland. Foretell. Wizard's Class. Pass the... Actually, let's foretell the Doomscar, too. Is this only as a sorcery? Yeah. Some of them are only as your turn. Well, some cards, not the classes in specific. No attacks. Foretell the Doomscar. I mean, we are going to find a Triskaidekaphile, and we are going to have enough cards in hand that we should be able to just immediately win the game. Because we got another draw 5 here with Sudden Insight. Shambling Guest. That's fine. We have used all of our counters, so we want to be careful with this Saw It Coming, not to waste it. Well, Sudden Insight. There's the Triskaidekaphile. All right, play Triskaidekaphile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We will pass the turn. Saw it coming. All right, so opponents they got top deck an answer. They got a top deck an answer. Or we got him. We got him with the Trisk. Opponent. Skullport Merchant. Yeah, that's a redraw. That could maybe draw our opponent into an answer. They gotta hit a removal spell though, or they're dead. We got the 13 cards in hand. Opponent. Sacks. Sure. Draws. Removal. Professor of Symbology. All right, that actually is going to keep our opponent alive, but that's okay. That's okay. So we don't win this turn with Triskaidekaphile, but we are still going to win with Triskaidekaphile. Opponent. Huh? Wait, am I miscounting? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think our opponent's not reading Triskaidekaphile. Sure, our turn. They found a way to get the removal spell, but they killed the Quandrix Cultivator. All right, well, we will accept it. So, opponent, black-white shenanigans, I guess. So probably like Vanquish the Horde in, maybe a couple Skyclaves seem good, and they do exile, which is nice. Go down, 1 Sudden Insight, 1 Quandrix Cultivator, 1 Wizard's Class, and what else? What else can we cut? Maybe 1 Fateful Absence. Let's try it like that. Fateful Absence is nice because it does kill creature lands. We only have 1 Field of Ruin, and it's been key. I almost think we should have 2. Yeah, all right, we'll keep. Opponent, Schwamp, and Eye Twitch. Well, land on, actually, no, let's just play this. Play the blue source, pass the turn. We're gonna have to put this on white, I think, most likely. Opponent, Pathway, Professor of Symbology. Get some science. And land on white. Foretell. So we got a Wrath for whenever we need it. All right, there's environmental sciences. I think the longer we can wait, the better for the most part. Opponent, another Eye Twitch. Goes attacking. Well, in that case, maybe we just Wrath. They're gonna get 2 lessons. I think it's probably worth it. Let's Pathway on blue. Yeah, let's just Wrath. So opponent gets to snag 2 more lessons. I wonder how many they can possibly be playing. I mean, there is a big cost to this in best of 3. I feel like this is something I've seen a lot in the first couple days of Innistrad Midnight Hunt Standard is players essentially playing best of 1 decks, or decks that were good in Standard 2022, which was only best of 1 and best of 3. And I think the cost of not having a sideboard because you're playing all the lessons is actually pretty big in real Standard. All right, opponents got options. They might have to take the Skyclave or else it just snags the Spellbinder, but we're still at 16, which is nice. So we're not super close to dying. And we have a lot of removal left in our deck. I'm just not sure these are powerful enough. They're powerful if you don't have a sideboard. If you don't have a sideboard, they're great. But when you do have a sideboard, I'm not sure they're strong enough to play. Well, Skyclave. Snag the Elite Spellbinder. Pass the turn. Wrenn and 7 would be good eventually. Filling our graveyard for Sudden Insight's also relevant. What do you got, opponent? Vanishing Verse gets back their dork. Sure. And environmental sciences for a land. I guess slightly worried about Lolth. We would prefer Lolth not to resolve. Opponent, swamp, passes. Well, consider. Yeah, mill the island. Play the land. Foretell the saw it coming. Pass the turn. Yeah, we want more mana values in our graveyard. Right now we got a 5 and a 1. So I actually think we just counter Elite Spellbinder to power up the Sudden Insight, basically. Professor of Symbology. Yeah. We want to draw as many as possible. A draw 3 for 6 isn't great, but it's something. Opponent hits us. Wrath? Ooh, Wrenn and 7. Well, oh, this can get rid of Planeswalkers, can it? It does. Well, in that case, I think we got to pass and draw some cards. So I think we need Wrath into Wrenn and 7 is what we want. Skullport Merchant gets treasure. Opponent hits us. Down to 8. Well, Sudden Insight. There's the Wraths. Doomscar you. That was a really nice draw 3. That was really, really good. So opponent can sack something to draw, which is fine. Yeah, this works out because now we also get to foretell another Doomscar, so it can't get hit by a Duress or something. Although, with all these lessons, I don't know if our opponent even has sideboard space for Duresses. And we have a Fateful Absence if they do find Lolth. Kaya. Or a Kaya. Opponent. Shambling Ghast. Sure. So, we will Fateful Absence Kaya. Play Triskaidekaphile. Play a land past the turn. All right, now we want another card draw spell. That's next on our list. Now, if we can find another Sudden Insight and it's drawing 5, then we're really in business. Our opponent can exile this for free and get it back with Necrotic Fumes, thanks to the Kaya counter. And they get a 1/1. Skullport Merchant. Sure. Eye Twitch. Sure. So we're going to get to untap with the Triskaidekaphile. Block. So opponent gets a 1/1, they get it back. Mega treasure. I mean, if they sack all their treasure to exile the Triskaidekaphile, we're kind of okay with that. All right, so there's the Necrotic Fumes. Well, that's out of our opponent's hand, though. So now this Renin 7, hopefully, ooh, and I saw it coming is big, big, big game. New plans. They have a Shambling Ghast, a Bad Ponder. Yeah, play Renin 7. Make a Tree Folk. Pass the turn. Upload it. Oh, come on, card draw spell. We're so close to sealing us up. Opponent plays a land. Is it 3-mana Ponder time? Yes. All right. Sure. Opponent's gonna learn a little lesson about prophecy. Keeps one on top. I mean, we do have a counter if something goes horribly wrong. Shambling Ghast returns and draws a card. All of this, I think, is fine. Opponent passing. Ooh, attacking the Renin 7. All right, well, we will kill the Spirit. Renin 7 down to 1 temporarily. Land, well, take up Renin 7. Mill 4 cards we kind of wanted. Play the land, Skyclave Apparition, the Eye Twitch. Foretell our last card. And yeah, I mean, I guess we hit you for 9. I think the time has come for Tree Folk aggro. Until we get some card draw. All right, opponent makes a treasure. Sure, pass the turn. Renin 7 is so busted. It is so good. I mean, busted in a good way. I don't think it's like ruining standard or anything, but it is really strong. Yes, we would prefer to keep our board around. I didn't even look. Okay, they were going creatures, which makes sense. Card draw, please. Well, pick up Renin 7. All right, we get a land. We mill some stuff we wanted. Oh, I should have played. Yeah, I should have played the land first. Giving up a free point of damage here. Opponent. Down to 13. Yeah, definitely should have played the land first. Play the land, pass the turn. Well, we'll see. Opponent, what do you got? What do you got? Adapts. Do you have another Blood on the Snow? Land. Lolth. Well, those are some chump blockers. Opponent makes a Spider. We really just need to hit a card draw spell. Any card draw spell. Deadly Dispute to draw a couple cards. Opponent. Passing. Oh, there's Triskaidekaphile. That's nice. That works. That works. So, Triskaidekaphile. Draw a card. Another Doomscar. Go to combat. Attack our opponent. I'm gonna block with a Spider. I think we're gonna tick up Ren one more time. Get a couple lands, mill a couple cards, play the land, pass the turn. I'm a little worried about a sweeper. The way this could go poorly is if our opponent has another Blood on the Snow. That's what could get us in trouble here. So keeping Ren alive through a sweeper has a lot of value. We're also hoping this Triskaidekaphile lives because the pay for to draw a card mode is like really huge at the moment. We just need to hit one of our big card draw spells while they do have another Blood on the Snow. All right, yeah. Well, draw a card. Opponent sweeps the board. Well, I'm glad we kept this Ren around. We still need to hit card draw, though. Opponent gets to get something back. I'm assuming Skullport. Wow, Symbology. All right. Wow, they actually have more lessons? Can they get a lesson that matters? Mascot Exhibition. Deadly Dispute to draw a couple of cards. Well, opponent's having their big turn. Can we find card? How much card draw do we have left? We still have a lot of sudden insights. That's what we need is a sudden insight off the top. That is the best. What's Lolth gonna do? Shambling Ghast. Make spiders. Well, Lolth being gone is nice. A counter is also nice. So, well, this is bad. We have a backup plan now that could work. 1, 2, 3. Doomscar. Wipe your board. Opponent gets a treasure. 1, 2. Foretell saw it coming. 1, 2. Foretell Doomscar. Play the land. Make a casual 12-12. Opponent is at 13 life, by the way. Faceless Haven. We got the answer to that. Mascot Exhibition. We got the answer to that. Opponent needs removal, or they're dead. They're dead to the land in our hand. About it. Spellbinder. Still dead. Got him! Take the Skyclave. That is fine. We untap. We Skyclave. We get rid of the Spellbinder. Renin 7 is really good land. That's a 13-13. Attack you for Xaxes. Whoo! Oh, wow, this deck was sweet. We got to see the power of Triskaidekaphile, which won us a lot of games, and we also got to see the power of Red and 7, which is a really good Magic card. This deck was actually super good. Super, super good. Sweet, sweet. So what did we learn this week about Triskaidekaphile in Standard? And the deck was kind of insane. We went 4-1 in High Diamond on Magic Arena. Our one loss came down to our opponent blind flipping the perfect card on a Delver to get exactly lethal the turn before we were going to stabilize. So we almost went 5-0 with the deck. It actually felt really, really strong. More importantly, we got several Triskaidekaphile wins. So the Triskaidekaphile plan was actually like successful. We were able to just kind of like draw cards, trade off resources, keep our opponent's board in check, and eventually sudden insight, Red and 7 into a bunch of cards, win the game with Triskaidekaphile. So this wasn't a case where Triskaidekaphile didn't do anything. We actually won many of our games with the Triskaidekaphile. Also worth mentioning, Red and 7 is a heck of a Magic card. Good Lord, is that card absolutely absurd. It is so, so strong. We saw throughout our games where the tokens it makes are incredibly powerful. We had a game where we had, what, 4 like 10-10s, 11-11s from Red and 7s on the battlefield. It is a really, really strong Magic the Gathering card. So keep that in mind. I think it's strong in a fair-ish way where it doesn't like Nissa and immediately win. But if you can keep it on the battlefield, the amount of value it generates quickly becomes overwhelming. Plus, it's especially good in this deck because it's fueling sudden insight to support Triskaidekaphile, and it's directly supporting Triskaidekaphile by getting cards in our hands with its +1 to get lands. So I love this deck, and I think it was like oddly competitive. I was hoping we'd like win with Triskaidekaphile once, and I was expecting it to be really, really difficult, but it ended up being, we won with it a bunch of times, and it was actually fairly easy to pull off. So Triskaidekaphile, better than expected, the deck better than expected, and Ren and 7, it was one of my top ranked standard cards, and it is living up to the hype. I think that card is really, really good. Keep it in mind for standard. Red and 7 kind of busted. So anyway, that's been our first Against the Odds for Innistrad Midnight Hunt Standard. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure to vote for next week's deck. I'll link the poll down below. Vote. Let me know what you want to see next. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Want to see some more sweet new Innistrad Midnight Hunt Standard? Well, we played some green-red werewolves a few days ago for much ado about nothing, so make sure to check that one out as well.